Look, I know you've heard so many times like, oh, you should spin plates and date as many women as possible, be with a bunch of women. Like, it's not worth being in a monogamous relationship anymore. It doesn't make sense. All these women are all about themselves. They're just here to take from you. And is that true to a certain extent? Yes. But it's not all of them. It's just the ones that you select. It's the ones that you attract. That's what it is. And I'll be real with you right now, right? It's a bunch of bullshit. If you're a man who's on his mission, if you're a man who's on his purpose and is actually doing something in life, it's detrimental for you to have multiple women at a time. I don't know one man that has actually succeeded having multiple women at a time consistently, right? Maybe, yeah, you might be saying, oh, Andrew Tate. Bro, you're not him. Like, you're just not. Like, he was probably monumentally successful, and also he had a business around women. So obviously it made sense. If you're not monetizing that, why are you trying to date multiple women at a time? Because somebody who literally based their business on women and was able to turn their women into assets. I'm not saying that's a good thing or bad thing. Morality has nothing to do with this. Objectively, right? Objectively, that's what worked for him. But if your business is not monetizing women, there's no reason to do that, because all you're doing is you're pulling yourself in so many different directions, because women need attention. Regardless, women need attention. So it does not make sense for you to have 5 women at a time trying to spread your attention across when you clearly have this mission that you want to lock into, right? If anything, just don't be with somebody at all if you're not ready for that. That's fine. But if you're actually trying to be in the dating world and you're trying to, talk to women and stuff like that, I'm telling you right now, sticking with one will be the best thing for you. And there's a bigger reason why that nobody ever talks about that I'm going to explain. So before I even explain, I'll tell you, like, I've been in that phase where, like, okay, I'm juggling 5 women at a time. I'm talking to different women, whatever, yada, yada. And I found myself so spread thin, but even deeper than that, I started to see a pattern, right? I started to see that these women saw something in me that was great. They wanted to be around. And if you're a man right now, if you're a man who is ambitious and you're doing big things in life and you're consistently excelling and you have these big visions, women will be attracted to you automatically, especially if you're in shape, you're well kept, you can speak correctly, you have really, really good experiences. Women will be attracted to you naturally, right? But the problem with that is, and this is where a lot of men mess up when they get older, right? And this is what a lot of the big men are getting trapped with, right? The fact that you may get to a point where you had relationships with all these different types of women, and all of a sudden you blow up and they feel like you left them behind and they want to get back at you and spite you with the Me Too movement. That's the biggest risk of non-monogamous lifestyles, is that Me Too movement bullshit. I'm telling you that right now. And I'm not saying that there are men who don't abuse women in a certain way. That definitely exists, right? That's definitely a real thing. But what I will tell you is that there are a lot of men who are constantly talking to a bunch of different women, leading them on, causing them to think a certain way, and then bouncing. And then when they blow up, those same women come and find them. This was a big thing for me, especially when I was at that point, which is what made me stop doing the whole like dating a bunch of women and talking to a bunch. The thing that made me stop was the fact that I do not, and I repeat, I do not want to get to a point, because I know it's inevitable for me to get to the next level, to get to that like Hall of Fame level. I don't want to have a point where like I was with so many different types of women that they have something against me that then ruins my career. So you have to think of yourself as, okay, well, I'm this guy. I can build myself up. I'm going to get to this level. And I need to get to a point where I can secure one woman that I know that I can pour into, that's also pouring into me at the same time. And from there, I can start to develop myself, and I'm safe from all of the nonsense that's going on, because you don't know what woman you're going to talk to. You don't know. You don't know where their headspace is at. You don't know what their thought process is. You don't know what their schemes are to get you in a negative position when you get to that level in life. If you're somebody who you're just like aimless and you have nothing going for you, that's probably why that non-monogamous lifestyle makes sense to you, because you don't really have much. You don't value yourself as much. But if you do value yourself, it makes sense to have one woman that's really valuable, that's pouring into you, that's helping you on your pursuit. and moving forward in life in that capacity. But until you do that, until you understand that process, until you start to realize, well, I'm this person who has limitless potential. I'm going to get to a certain point. The women see it. They understand it. You're never going to even understand what I'm telling you right now. And it's going to bite you in the end, because there's going to be a day, I'm telling you, there's going to be a day where you blow up, where things start to work extremely well for you. You become global. You become recognized. And that lifestyle that you were living for all those years is going to catch back up to you. And the easiest way to ruin a man's reputation is through a woman. It's the easiest way. So if you're non-monogamous and you're bouncing around between different women, you're putting yourself at a risk. And the risk sucks. Because when it finally gets time to actually manifesting itself into a problem in your life, it will literally be a cancer in your life that is going to destroy every little piece of reputation that you have. It's going to be very hard to bounce back from that. Many men don't bounce back. You can look at Andrew Tate. Yeah, he bounced back for sure. He's a very smart guy. But I'm talking to like the general public. It's not a lifestyle that you, and even look at Dan Bilzerian, somebody who was living the hedonistic lifestyle for a long time, came back and told you, well, monogamy is the way. Because again, when you're on a mission, when you're a man on a mission, you don't have time. You don't have time to be trying to entertain different women. You don't have time to be talking to, you don't care. You don't care because you understand that there's something bigger and better out there. And you understand the more that you chase that bigger thing, the more women are going to chase you, of course. But you're not focused on that. All these guys who are focused on women and focused on, game and all this stuff, you're missing out on the big picture. You're missing out on building yourself. You're missing out on becoming the best version of yourself because you're so caught up in what everybody on the internet is telling you. All these alpha males on the internet are telling you like, be with a bunch of different women, do all this. There's a time and place where, you date women and you understand the nature of women for sure. But if you make it your life goal to be with 4 or 5, 6 different women, you're going to get caught up eventually in life. Because women are highly emotional. And a lot of you don't even understand how to like properly break up with a woman. So you go ahead and you ruin her emotions, and she's spiteful. She's vengeful of you. She's going to find a way to destroy your life. I have friends that have gone through this, right? I have friends that have gone through the same process. They picked the wrong woman. They left abruptly, and now she's coming back with allegations. And I'm telling you right now, it is not worth it. It's not worth it to you as a man who's building himself up. It's not worth it to your mission. It's not worth it to your life. It's better if you literally just find one and dial in on that one, even if it doesn't work, because you would have learned something from that. At least you would have learned what it felt like. But the more you try to spread yourself, and again, a lot of guys who do this is because they're insecure about the fact that like they can actually get hurt. And they don't actually believe that they can bounce back. So they hedge their bets. It's like hedging your bets. You just get with a bunch so that way you don't get emotionally towed down when things go wrong. But if you're a strong man and you're strong emotionally, you understand how that works. You can deal with one at a time. And it's beneficial for you because you can now focus on your mission. You can focus on your goals. You're not getting drawn in 50 different directions. You're not constantly thinking about whether you got an STD or not. You're not constantly thinking about what does this woman think? What does this woman think? What is this? Your life revolves around that. And if you're not monetizing that in the way that a lot of these guys are, then it's literally pointless for you. It makes no sense. And a lot of you don't want to do that because your morality's there, right? It's the same with me. My morality won't let me do something like that. But like most of you are not going to do that. Most of you are going to want to have some sort of relationship that benefits you, and also you benefit the woman as well. So it's a win-win. And I don't like the idea of like thinking, all women are bad. No, they're not. That's not true. That's a blanket statement. The reason why you're attracting bad women is because you may not be a good person yourself. Why would somebody who's solid date you? Why would somebody who can hold it down date you or be with you? If you feel like you're a man who can actually like be that guy, then yeah, you're gonna attract a good one. But I see a lot of men who are just like jokesters. They don't have any direction in life. They're not leaders. They don't have any big visions. They don't have any knowledge. They don't know anything. They're out of shape. They're all this. And they're complaining about why they get the worst of the worst. They get the bottom of the barrel picks. Because you're not the guy. But once you become the guy, it becomes a lot easier. And you have your pick. That's the difference. You want to be able to have the option to choose, but you don't want to choose everything. You want to choose the best one. And you want to hold out until you find the best one. Because that's what's going to help you with your journey right now as a man. I'm telling you, I'm only talking to ambitious men. I'm not talking to guys who make their whole personality around getting women, because those guys are going to hate me for saying this. They're going to say that this is BS. But as a man who is undeniable, who has literally built himself from the ground up to where I'm currently at right now, I'm telling you as a man who's on his way as well, that this is literally the cheat code to making sure that you stay locked in. Is finding somebody who supports your mission, supports you, and can pour into you, because you need that energy to keep going. You need that love to keep going. The genuine one, right? Not the one where it's like fake it for Instagram and you're a celebrity couple and all that. No, not that. The real one, the one that's behind closed doors. And there are women who are like that in real life. You just have to become the person who attracts those types of women. Because if you're attracting the wrong ones, you got to take a big look in the mirror and say, what am I doing to do this? How am I presenting myself? How am I projecting myself? But the point is, monogamy is the best route for most men. It genuinely is. It's like one of the easiest routes to go through. You don't have to deal with a lot of the BS. And you might be saying, I know what a lot of people will say. They'll say, well, what if that one woman that you're with ends up doing the same thing? And it's like, well, no. Because you're not going to treat her a certain way. And especially if you understand women and you have knowledge and you understand the nature of women, it's not going to happen to you. But when you're dealing with a bunch of different women at a time, you become extremely reckless. And being reckless, you make reckless mistakes. And making reckless mistakes can recklessly destroy your career and your life moving forward. I'm not going to be the guy who tells you to, I'm not a dating coach. I'm not here to tell you to spin plates and do all this and pick up lines and all this bullshit. I'm here to tell you to like practically find one or hold out until you find one. I'm not saying the one, because there's never the one, but there's one that you can lock into, that you can even develop into what you want her to become. You can program her the way that you need to program her so that she can benefit your life. That's you as a man, you're a programmer. A lot of men don't understand that. You don't understand, like, you can literally develop a woman to become way better than what she started with you. But you can't even develop yourself, so how can you develop somebody else? It's the same with children. Like, of course you're going to have fucked up children because you can't even develop yourself. How can you develop a child? It makes no sense. And again, this is going to fall on deaf ears to men who don't genuinely understand the grind. They don't understand trying to build yourself up. They don't understand that process. They don't understand the pitfalls that can happen when you get up. I've had men at very high levels tell me, they're like, bro, stick with one. Stick with one. You're going to save yourself a lot of headaches. Having kids with random women that you didn't even think, you don't even want to raise your kids because you made that mistake because you were juggling around. I'm not telling you to be celibate. I'm just telling you to be hyper strategic and don't just recklessly sleep around. Don't just do that because you feel like you need to. Be strategic. I had to shift my approach because I started to realize, wait, I have something. You're the trophy, right? Like, you're the prize. You want to say that? That's what masculine, you're the prize. You are. And if you're the prize, it's easy to rob a prize. It's easy to rob a prize if it's just a glass mirror. They just break through. If that prize just gets handed to everybody, you got to be handed to the right person who deserves the prize if you are the prize. That's what it takes. This isn't dating advice. This is just the reality. And most men don't want to live with that reality. They want to say, well, the ancient times, Genghis Khan. You're not Genghis Khan, bro. Oh, well, all the ancient King Solomon. You're not King Solomon. So no, that doesn't apply to you. You don't have unlimited sources of wealth to be able to even support that many women. And you have to look at modern times. Women are programmed to think a different way. So if you're trying to go against that programming of like, oh, you and you and you and you are all my concubines. It's like, bro, what? You have to look at where things are currently at and you have to play the game the way that it's being played at the moment. And you have to master the game and you have to transcend the game. But a lot of you want to compare yourself to ancient times when it's like, bro, you're not even on their level from ancient times. You're not Genghis Khan. You're not over here conquering lands and everything like that. You're just a guy who wants to become successful in his own life, in his own way. And you just need somebody to support that and can also be the mother of your children, because you probably want to procreate and you probably want to extend your bloodline. That's the goal, realistically. If you want to be like a Tate, if you want to be like a lot of these guys, go for it, by all means. But don't tell me, don't say that I didn't tell you this. Don't say that you didn't watch this video. When things get into shambles, don't say that you didn't watch this. Because it can happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying if you want to mitigate the risk, just move very, very strategically. That's important. Just take this, internalize it, become undeniable, become the guy who has unlimited options, and pick the best option. Simple. Appreciate you, and I'll catch you on the next video.